Yo, what's up, kids? So in today's video, we're just gonna talk about Omnia. Now, Omnia is an art commentary YouTuber who creates art while talking about the topic. I personally can't find appeal to this kind of YouTube video, but to each their own, I guess. But she released a video on July 16th talking about the commentary community's biggest flaw. Many creators had a problem with this video, including me. She was gatekeeping trauma and plagiarizing, which means to take someone else's idea and claim it as your own. She also plagiarized the speed drawing and the art for a thumbnail, and incredibly bad takes about the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp situation, which in turn gave her a huge dislike bomb. And as well, Hopeless Peach is another art commentator making a video which got 100k views as of this recording. But before you do that, let's dive into Omnia's gatekeeping video.
It's Omnia, and today in this video I want to examine what I consider to be the commentary community's biggest flaw. The many examples of it happening both in the past few years and more recently, and the simple ways commentary channels can learn to correct this behavior in the future. That being the mishandling of serious, abusive, or traumatic situations for the purpose of entertainment, drama, and financial gain. Firstly, I think it's important to distinguish the differences between trauma and drama, which may seem obvious to most people, but is obviously something that certain commentary channels and individuals who spend a lot of time on the internet struggle with. So I thought it necessary to include a very quick formal explanation for those of you who need a reminder or would like to learn a little bit more about what typically counts as traumatic and what typically counts as dramatic. Without further ado, here's my very speedy language lesson. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Hopefully you don't mind that the camera's changed. The lighting in my room keeps changing, so I just decided to use a different camera for today. And also, I hope you enjoy Gabby in the background. It looks like she just wanted to take a nap next to sleeping Kirby, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of reprieve during this kind of rough video, because I know that I'm kind of struggling getting this video together and motivating myself to do it because it is a pretty heavy topic. So hopefully Gabby in the background can help you, take a break and look at a cute cat sleeping next to a Kirby plush. But today, in this clip, we're gonna go through the differences between drama and trauma. I know for most people that is a pretty obvious distinction. Most people know the differences between the two words. However, as a person who has been running a commentary channel for about 2 years now, and someone who has a semi-active Twitter account, I can guarantee you that most people on the internet don't really know the main differences between the two, and so I thought it would be relevant to make a really quick video to go through the definitions and make a really quick distinction between the two, because it might help unblur that line for people who do struggle with figuring out the differences between trauma and drama. So let's just get started. When you search up trauma on Google, this is what comes up. A deeply distressing or disturbing experience. Emotional shock following a stressful event or a physical injury, which may be associated with physical shock and sometimes leads to long-term neurosis. Physical injury. When you search up drama on Google, this is what the definition is. A play for theater, radio, or television. An exciting, emotional, or unexpected series of events or set of circumstances. When you look at the second definition of drama, you can kind of see that there is a little bit of similarity, right? It's a exciting, emotional, or unexpected series of events or sets of circumstances. And that's kind of similar to trauma, right? But I would say the main and easy litmus test between trauma and drama is severity, intensity. Always look at how severe or intense that event is. And there tends to be other symptoms of trauma more so than there is of drama. And that tends to show up somatically. So what I mean by that is that when something traumatic happens to someone, that tends to show up in their body or the way that they behave. So with someone who has experienced a traumatic event, they may get diagnosed with PTSD, they may need increased therapy or medication. Sometimes they have changes in behavior, like somatic changes, for example, weight loss or weight gain. Sometimes they have a lot of nightmares or hallucinations, they can have insomnia, stuff like that. That is often a sign of trauma. Whereas with drama, there tends to be a lot less physical symptoms, though there can be, right? There's just tends to be less intensity, less severity. And that's why I say when you want to distinguish between trauma and drama, the easiest way is to run a litmus test about how severe it is. So with trauma, it tends to be abuse, threats of violence, death, things like that. Whereas with drama, those tend to be pretty lukewarm experiences that a lot of people go through. For example, having a falling out with a friend, or getting a bad grade, or arguing with your parents, or getting offended over something that someone said online. That typically is drama.
Well, kids, this is where me and Omnia absolutely like separate. This is where we separate, because she believes in her mind that it's just black and white. Because if you get slurred, if somebody throws slurs at you and you don't like that slur and it's absolutely affecting you badly and affecting your mental health, oh no, that's drama. You're just being dramatic, and there's like, and I would also point out, she put cheating in drama. What? That's not drama. That's literally trauma. What? How do you believe that somebody cheating on you and you believing it as drama? You gonna get trust issues after you get cheated on, and it's gonna affect your mental health and how you view yourself, and you're going to get in depression. People literally get depression after a breakup. They literally lose themselves, and this is coming from a person who's literally experienced that. And get into an argument with your parents, it depends on the topic of what you're arguing about. I argued with my parents because they were arguing, and they just continue to argue, and that caused a mental snap, and I couldn't handle that. It was affecting me badly. So that's trauma. Why are you putting, it's not black and white. Why are you just trying to define everything? It's just mind-blowing how stupid this is. Anyways, kids, I hate sharing personal stuff online, so I'm not gonna get too deep into my mental life, I guess. I want to bring up this comment because it really shows how blind she is and how dumb she looks. As a survivor of CSA, which is child sexual assault, this whole comment section about trauma versus drama really pisses me off. Who gives you the right to start comparing trauma to see who is the worst? Being cheated on is traumatic. Being backstabbed is traumatic. Having a huge fight with your parents is traumatic. Being consistently bullied and harassed is traumatic, etc. Not only did you straight up downplay someone else's trauma, but it's harmful on actual victims who are struggling to get help they need. Also, not to forget that you just plagiarized someone else's artwork and didn't even credit them, while also deleting comments that are calling you out. The reason I trailed off is because I'm just as surprised as y'all are, because I did not expect her to actually try to sweep this under the rug, which is so stupid, and it really shows how dumb of a person she is and how oblivious she is to criticism. Like, why are you trying to sweep it under the rug? You could just apologize for it, release apology video, but now you're just trying to sweep it under the rug, act like nobody haven't noticed.
Any of that to happen to her, so why would she thank him? It's insane. Shit like this is what makes the case so diabolical and why I avoid the trial like the plague. What's worse is that this behavior is not just on TikTok or other social media platforms. If you wanted, you could find some of the biggest names known on YouTube and find videos and clips of them mocking Amber Heard's testimony. Even individuals who have very little to do with the commentary community like Jacksepticeye or PewDiePie.
No. My dog stepped on a bee. We took him to the vet.
I actually managed to squeeze out a tear. You see, that's how it's done. That's how you actually cry. You believe in the things you're saying.
Next meme involves private information, trauma, physical and emotional abuse. But I just hate this bitch so much that it's worth memeing. Amber Heard, also known as Amber Turd. She speaks exactly how people do when you reverse something like too many times and you start going like, so like, I think what the thing about the thing is like, I just am speaking like I haven't thought about this at all. Anyway, guys. I mean, obviously I'm not like, you should probably think about what you're gonna say in a trial, but it's so bizarre. Like, what the fuck is she doing with her face?
My dog.
This is an actress?
We went to the vet and went on.
She just shows she's like the worst actress of all time. My dog stepped on a bee. Oh yeah? Yeah, but Amber makes those kind of faces. Have you seen it? Have you seen the trial where she's just like all of a sudden,
I just see the memes.
Where you're missing. Well, that's why you're such a fence sitter, dude. If you've seen, you know, like unequivocally, she's insane, dude.
My dog stepped on a bee.
My child spilled my tea.
Jimmy Savile shagged me.
She keeps making these faces.
She's an actress, Felix, an actress. You wouldn't understand.
You're not supposed to act in court. You're supposed to tell the truth. And she's a lousy goddamn actress for that matter. God damn.
Dude,
my dog stepped on a bee. Yeah, I feel bad for her lawyers that have to like retell her lies as if they're truth. It's really funny.
Oh,
because everyone just sounds insane. Justice for Johnny has been going on for a long time, I remember. I'm really glad everyone is showing him support. It's so obvious just basing on his character that he's a good guy, and watching everything that's come out of this trial so far has only been in his favor. I feel like you could easily get swept up with people being charming but still being bad people.
Now, I understand that some people see celebrities and automatically think that their life is one big drama and everyone is entitled to commentate on their private business, but as popular content creators themselves, I feel like Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie would know better than anyone about how uncomfortable it is for people to try and pry into your life more than you're comfortable sharing.
Omnia, that was public information. That wasn't private information. That was public information. Jack and PewDiePie has every right to really poke fun at that. It's a court case and it's public information, so they can meme about it all they want. And to add to this, she was lying anyways, so it's not the fact is you are just making it seem bigger than it already is. It's the fact is it isn't that important, because she's lying. She's completely lying. Not to mention the fact is you copied somebody else's artwork and pretending like this is yours. Yes, they have talked about this, but this is not the only time and only occasion that she have done this. It's so stupid how people can get away with this. Yes, I see it's just art, but it's so wrong that you can claim this and give zero credit towards the artists that really put their hard work and sweat and tears and just everything into this piece of absolute masterpiece, and then you just decided to come around and steal it and just copy right off it. Not to mention the fact your fans are creating fan fiction of this person with their abuser, which is absolutely cruel and unnecessary. And why would they do that? please address that? Can you please address that? Because I can't tell if she did, because her tweets are protected and I can't view it, and it's quite stupid. Why would you let your fans do that? Say something about that, or talk about that in public, or make sure people can see that you actually care. I never saw it, so if you really have proof that she went over this, and tell her fans stop harassing her, I would love to see that. And the final thing we're going to talk about today is her response to Hopeless Peach's video. And holy Jesus, this is bad. This is incredibly bad.
Copy Raven's color palette and design specifically from her Teen Titans Go version, which is why Raven's Teen Titans Go character was in the corner of the page when I dropped the work in progress. What I didn't do though is use Meg's color palette. As you can see here, the colors are drastically different, and thus this claim is false. Now, I will admit I did heavily reference Magikarp's work without giving proper credit where credit was due initially, and once I realized my error, I corrected my mistake and apologized to Meg privately in DMs as soon as I could. I essentially said exactly what I had just clarified earlier with the intent to clear up any misinformation that Meg might have heard. I made sure to clarify to Meg that I didn't trace her art despite what certain others were alleging, showed her the speed paint proving that it was my own work, and elaborated that I definitely should have added credit in the video itself initially. I wanted to apologize for not doing so in the first place to the artist it affected the most, which was the artist that I had so heavily referenced from, Meg. She accepted my apology, and we also came to a cordial agreement that if I were to study or heavily reference her work again in the future, to just run it by her before posting it, which, to me, is a very understandable and fair request of her to pose. I also asked her for permission to share these DMs, to which she accepted. Here's the DMs in question. This is what I said after clarifying everything to her. Once again, I apologize for making you uncomfortable in any way, and I'll be sure not to post the colored version of it anywhere without your express permission. I'm sorry you were dragged into this, and I'm sorry it happened so unexpectedly. I understand that you must have felt surprised and confused initially, but I just wanted to clear any of your questions, concerns, or suspicions up in DMs. Let me know if you need anything else, and I'm also open to discussing whatever. Take care. She responded with, "Aw, hi, thanks so much for reaching out. Yeah, just for future reference, I'm totally alright with people referencing my art for practice, but I'd rather they not post it without asking me first if it's very heavily referenced. But you're totally right, I don't really engage with Twitter a lot, so the primary emotion for me was just surprise and confusion. No anger over here. I really appreciate you reaching out and communicating with me though, and I hope you know I have no hard feelings at all. Best wishes." I ended the conversation with, "I will keep that in mind." And now that I think about it, I definitely should have credited you at the beginning of the video itself, but it slipped my mind, so I apologize for that too. No hard feelings at all over here. Just wanted to make sure you know that I'm apologetic for my mistake and will be sure not to repeat the same mistake again. These DMs were made July 24th, and my final reply was made on July 27th, which were days before Hopeless Peach's video came out on July 28th. I do think it's a little strange that Hopeless Peaches made this video 4 days after Meg and I had already handled the concern privately and cordially. I do wish Peaches had reached out to Meg and asked if she was apologized to while working on her video. That way, the situation wouldn't have needed to been blown out of proportion in the way that it was, especially since everything was already handled privately between me and Meg by the time her video was released.
I appreciate the fact that you realized the error and apologize for it, but why are you using this to go after Hopeless Peaches? And how could she have known that? You made this public on the 28th, so I don't really get your point there. And yes, you're correct about the reaching out point, but that could just apply to anybody. That could apply to me, that could apply to Hopeless Peaches, that could apply to that can apply to Harley, that can apply to everybody, that can even apply to you.
I wanted to rapid fire debunk some of the misinformation spread within Hopeless Peach's video regarding the art, especially since she did get at least a couple things wrong. The first bit of misinformation has to do with Magikarp being a smaller and lesser known artist, which Peaches claims that she is.
They could have just used this as a chance to promote a lesser known and talented artist by stating that they were inspired by their work.
So,
no, you're just twisting her words. She said she's a lesser known artist. She didn't say a smaller or an insignificant or irrelevant artist. She just said a lesser known and talented artist. I would say that's more of a compliment. I have no clue why you're making it larger or more of an insult than it actually isn't.
Also claims is a problem.
Not only that, but using it as your thumbnail now makes it a monetary issue. So, yeah, I just don't know.
So, is the thumbnail truly a monetary issue? Also, no, not really. Raven is a character created under DC Comics, and she has been around since October 1980. There's nothing particularly unique about a side profile drawing of Raven, especially since neither Meg nor I own Raven as a character. In this way,
You get monetization and you get money from this. So you're using somebody else's artwork and drawing it, and as well as getting money from doing that, and you're not crediting them at all. So are you not seeing the problem here? But anyway, she goes on and on about hopeless peaches, and I don't honestly care. But if you really like this video, drop a like and subscribe if you're new. And it's like a 20-minute video. So if you really sat here for like 20 minutes, I'm really happy at you, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you later.